final squad to have a look through for the Rugby Championship for 2019 is the Argentinian squad, Los Pumas. It's sometimes a difficult one to get information on here, at least in New Zealand. There's not much in the way of news about it, which is, I guess, a bit disappointing. I suppose the fact that most of the first language news stuff comes out in Spanish kind of makes a big part of it. But interestingly, the entire squad was listed on a South African website, but it wasn't listed like in the New Zealand Herald, at least not that I saw. I may have missed it, but hey, have a look at the squad. I do apologize. The guys who've got the double-barreled names, I've just put one name just to save space on the whiteboard because it is a pretty big. It's a pretty big squad to start with. I guess it will get narrowed down as we go through a bit closer to the comp. But in terms of the squad itself, who have they picked? Three hookers: Crevi, Montoya, and Socino. I mean, usually it's Crevi and Montoya, but I guess we'll see if they spread the minutes amongst the rest of the guys. For props, it's Tetes Chaparro, Vivas, Zeiss, Diaz, Garcia Bota, Figalo, who's playing with Saracens, I think. Also Herrera, who's playing with Stade Francais. So it's a couple of international tight heads. Hopefully they can shore that scrum up because it has had its issues with Argentina. Medrano, Pietro, and Sordoni, the other props. So mostly Jaguares guys there. It kind of makes sense, but a couple of big international names there as well. So you assume they're going to give the guys with the international call-ups more minutes, just because otherwise why call them? But I guess we will wait and see. The locks, you've got Petty, Lavanini, Alamalo, and Lucas Paulos. I'm interested to see if they end up playing kind of a third lock, because for the most part, at least for the Jaguares, it's been Lavanini and Petty, and sometimes Crema will go in there at lock as well. Paulos, I think, had pretty limited numbers during the Jaguares season. And Alamalo, I don't remember if he was injured or out of selection, but he didn't play much towards the end of the season for the Jaguares. So I'm not sure what the logic is behind that. But either way, they do have options. I mean, Petty can move into the back row if needs be as well. So a lot of these guys are quite flexible. Into the back rowers, you've got Matera, who had a fantastic season for the Jaguares. Lezana, probably most exciting is Etha is back as well from France. I'm looking forward to see him playing back in the Pumas jersey. Ortega Decio, Crema, like I mentioned, who can play in the second row if needs be. Bruni and the veteran Leguizamon is there as well. So that's the forward pack. I think it's just the three guys from overseas. Otherwise, for the most part, they are all call-ups from the Jaguares side. So I guess we expected it to be the majority Jaguares guys, and it makes sense. For the backs, you've got a fair few fly halves and scrum halves. So you've got Kubeli, who's been the inform guy for the Jaguares. Bertrano, who was the favoured guy last year. He seems to be behind Kubeli now, but he was pretty good last year, I thought. Landajo, who seems to have not played for a while, and Felipe Escura, who seems to now be the second selection, at least at the Jaguares. So we'll see if that translates into Pumas or not, because Ledesma might have different ideas from Quesada, but I believe they're working pretty closely, so I guess we'll wait and see. For number 10s, you've got Nicolas Sanchez. It's a good thing to see him back. He's been playing in France. Urda Paletta has also been playing in France with Cast. Diaz Bonilla has been playing very well for the Jaguares. And Miotti, I think I would have said give Bonilla a chance based on the recent form in Super Rugby. But just the idea of having Sanchez back, I really want to see Sanchez play again. He's a world-class guy, so yeah, I think he will get the first choice. Hopefully Miotti gets some minutes as well, because he is a young talent coming through. Midfielders, we've got Gonzalez Iglesias, De La Fuente, Orlando, Moroni, Mensah, and Maia. I don't remember seeing Mensah much. Does he play for the Jaguares? I cannot remember. I'll need to do some research about him. Orlando and De La Fuente had very, very excellent seasons for the Jaguares. They were probably the most underrated midfield there, and I was very impressed with how they went. De La Fuente is one of my favorite players. Don't ask me why. I really like seeing him in action. And then the rest of the team, all the outside backs, Batista Escura, Mojano, Delgui, Sebastian Cancellieri, Boffelli, Tucalet, who's kind of the veteran at this point, Montero, Carreras, and I believe, if Twitter is correct, Santiago Cordero is there as well, which is very exciting news if you are a Pumas fan. The two big names that I was very happy to see were Cordero and Isa. Is it Etha or Isa? You guys will have to let me know what the correct pronunciation. I think in France they call them like Isa, but you guys will let me know. But yeah, it's an interesting looking squad. If you'd asked me 6 months ago, I would have not been able to imagine a back three of Argentina, which wasn't Mojano, Boffelli, and Delgui. But Delgui has been injured for much of the season. Cancellieri has come along really well. But then the idea that you can get Cordero back is exciting. The midfield, I think there are options as well, but I hope it is De La Fuente and Orlando, but they might switch that up as well. 10, I think probably Sanchez. But again, like I said, I want to see Miotti get some minutes too. And I feel bad for Bonilla that he did have a pretty good season for the Jaguares, but I still rank him below Sanchez. Yeah, plenty of options of loose forwards. The locks are fine. The scrum and the props are kind of where I am curious to see how the coaching staff go. At some point, I will have a try and make my own 23 based on these players. I've got a fair idea, and I've just given you guys a fair idea as well of the side that I would like to see play. I hope the Pumas can take some of that Super Rugby form aside, which made the Super Rugby final, and push that into Rugby Championship form and then World Cup form as well. It'd be really nice to see the Pumas really, kind of go to that next level, because you look at the squad and they definitely have a lot of talented players in many positions. You guys let me know your thoughts on the squad. Who do you think will be the starting 23? Do you think all of the overseas guys start ahead of some of the Jaguares guys, or do you think they mix and match? You guys let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.